Good morning, Judge.
Good morning.
How are you?
Gabriel, all right. Gabriel Martinez. All right, so where are we on this case with discovery?
Sorry, Judge. Discovery, I believe, is all there. We have agreed to pre-trial diversion.
Okay. All right, I need a PTD setting.
I can do April.
All right, April 15th is tax day. Is that fine?
It's, what day is that? Oh, tax day.
Yeah.
I think I'll be in trial across the hallway, so that's perfect.
All right, April 15th.
Great. I'll see you then.
All right, make sure the contract and everything is signed.
Thank you.
All right, thank you for dressing appropriately to
course.
report. Thank you.
And don't leave without your recess. Have a seat and I'll have your attorney take it to you.
Kristen Espinoza. Hello.
Hello, sorry.
All right, so here's the thing, and I'm just telling you this, and it's coming, trust me, what I'm about to tell you is coming from a good place. I don't know why people wear sagging pants. That needs to stop, all right? So when you are with your friends, there's a certain way you may dress. But when you're in court, wear the right size pants or either get a belt. You understand? It's not good. Nobody wants to see people's underwear. They only do that for Calvin Klein where people have their underwear and they show that it's Calvin Klein. But you don't have to tell everybody what kind of underwear write it in a letter or something. This is the underwear I'm wearing, okay? All right. But other than that, I'm fine with the way you're dressed. Okay.
I'll just better next time.
Okay, I appreciate that. All right, let me see what page he is on. All right. So on this case, where are we on discovery, counsel?
Your Honor, we do have discovery. I believe this is our first sitting on the felony case. I've
Mhm.
conferred with the state and we have a global offer that's gonna take care of, this case is gonna be dismissed and we're gonna plea on a couple of misdemeanor cases.
All right,
Okay.
so what date, when is that going to be happening?
I don't have the county court 9 case off the top of my head.
I think it was the 20th or the 31st.
Yeah.
All right, well, let me look it up on Odyssey.
I can see if I can find it also, Your Honor. I'm sorry.
Okay.
It's the 31st. Your Honor, it's set March 31st.
March
Monday.
31st?
Yes.
All right, so this is what I'll do. On this case, I'm going to set it for April 1st.
Okay.
And then if that's completed on the 31st, we won't need to be here.
Sounds good.
But if on the 31st, for some reason, something goes wrong and it's not completed, just walk up here so I can give you a different date.
Okay. We'll do it, yeah.
All right, so we'll have you back here on April 1st. Do you understand? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. You have a good day.
You too. Just have him remain until the reset form is signed. All right, thank you. Paul Diaz. All right, let me find you on the docket. All right, so what is happening with discovery?
Your Honor, discovery is complete. I've spoken with the state and I'm in the process of providing some mitigation and witness statement that's going to, I believe, affect what the offer will be. And so we're asking for time to let that happen.
All right, how much time are you requesting?
Your Honor, I'm requesting 30 days.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, can I have a 30-day reset on Diaz? All right, it's going to be April 14th, and that will be your plea deadline date as well.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. What page is he on? Mr. Diaz, you need to make sure you're on time next time. You understand? Do not be late again. All right, thank you. All right, who's here on David Vargas? All right, court is calling 2024 CR 2068 State versus David Coyote Vargas. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
For the state of Texas.
For the defense?
Monica Guerrero for Mr. Vargas, Your Honor.
And Hector Gonzalez for Mr. Cook.
Right, and are you Mr. Vargas?
Yes.
All right, you entered a plea to the lesser included. According to the plea bargain agreement, punishment is to be assessed at $1,500. The state is recommending deferred adjudication. And you're to comply with Chapter 62 registration. outside the plea bargain agreement, there's a no contact. What I can tell all parties, the court is gonna order no contact.
That's good.
All right, have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report?
We have, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor, first.
Any objections to the PSI report?
No, Your Honor. Well, I guess when you won, there was a mention of restitution in there.
Yes.
However, I reviewed that with the state of Texas and we do not believe that there is any restitution that's actually owed.
Your Honor, the state's aware of what restitution is involved and what the usual parameters are for restitution. So the state will defer to the court as far as an amount that the court, if it deems award to the victim on this case.
All right, so any objections to the court reviewing what's listed as restitution?
I have zero objection, Your Honor.
All right, so what I can tell parties is legally, there's only certain things that I can give restitution for.
I understand.
The divorce and things of that nature, you're not allowed to receive restitution for that. If I could give restitution for that, I would. The other items that are being requested for restitution, if I could give restitution for that, I would. But legally, I'm not allowed to give restitution for the items that are listed that total $15,000, approximately $15,000. So if there's any type of case law that you would have that says that I'm incorrect in my evaluation, I'm more than willing to hear that and more than willing to give you a time to address those. But based upon my knowledge of the law, I'm legally not allowed to give restitution for the items that are listed.
I understand, Your Honor. We've made the victim aware of that.
All right, so then is this the only restitution that's listed from page 8? It's entitled Some Financial Damages. And then it has approximately $15,000 as the total. Is there any other restitution other than those items?
That is all that was originally submitted by the victim and was requested by the victim.
All right. So then next we'll move on to sentencing. Is there anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
No, Your Honor, only that it's been cooperative with everything, and we would ask that you follow along with the agreement we made with the state.
Okay.
Judge, he has been gainfully employed. He has not just been sitting around doing nothing. He's helping his family who has been supportive of him. His parents are both in the courtroom and they very much want him to get this plea agreement that we entered into with the state.
All right. This is what the court is going to do. The court will follow the agreement that you've reached. The court is going to sentence you to 6 years deferred adjudication. There's a $1,500 fine that will be probated. Chapter 62 compliance, regular reporting by Zoom or in person, regular random UAs, proof of employment within 30 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. There's to be no contact with minors. You'll be on the special unit with probation for this offense. There's to be no contact with the complainant. With regards to the community service hours, there is no place that will allow you to do community service hours. So I am gonna do 80 hours of community service restitution, but you're gonna have to pay that off at $7.25 per hour. I always recommend people to the food bank because the food bank always needs food. However, that's not an order from the court. That's something to consider. If you have another charity that you would like to donate to, if it's on the approved list for probation, that's fine. If it's not on the approved list, your attorney can come back to the court and I'll make a determination of whether or not it's a true charity and not the human fund, okay? Probation, is there anything else? All right, and I'm also gonna sentence you to 30 days in the Bexar County Jail as a condition of probation. And that's to start today. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it? Excuse me, did you review the trial court certification with your attorney?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, because this is a plea bargaining agreement, because I followed the plea bargaining agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, my understanding is, and thank you so much for dressing appropriately for court. My understanding is that there is victim impact, so what's going to end up happening is the complainant is going to want to speak to you. I just require that everyone treats everyone with respect, okay? All right, Fernando Placencia. Hello, how's it going?
I'm good, and you, Judge?
All right, I cannot complain. It's a beautiful day outside.
There you go, yes.
All right, court is calling 2024 CR 011893 State versus Fernando Placencia. Can I have parties announced for the record?
Megan Galloway for the state.
David Dilly for Mr. Leon Placencia, Your Honor.
Are you Mr. Placencia?
Yes.
Did you understand you're charged with driving while intoxicated as a Class B misdemeanor? The range of punishment is up to $2,000 fine and up to 180 days in the Bexar County Jail. If you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
No, no.
Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
According to the plea, the state is proceeding on the lesser included offense of DWI first. They're asking that your punishment be assessed at 180 days in the Bexar County Jail. There's a $2,000 fine. State recommends community supervision, ignition interlock for 1 year, and 1 year Texas driver's license suspension. Did you understand that to be the plea? Outside the agreement, the state is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 2 years. There'll be a TAP evaluation, 120 hours of community service restitution, and parenting classes. Did you understand those were recommendations from the state, and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes.
Then to the offense, the lesser included offense of DWI first, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments. The court has reviewed the same. The court will find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Yes, Your Honor. So my client did take the initiative, even though I don't believe it's part of the plea bargain agreement, but I did show it to the state, if I may present this to the court. My client already took the DWI education course in the victim impact panel live.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yes, Your Honor. Other than that, we respectfully request, Your Honor, if you should follow the plea agreement. My client has no prior record.
All right, the court will find you guilty. The court will sentence you to 180 days in the Bexar County Jail, suspended and probated for 2 years. There's a $2,000 fine that will be probated. Ignition interlock for 1 year. There's to be a 1 year license suspension. There should be 120 hours of community service restitution. I'm going to order parenting classes. Once he completes that, the community service restitution will be deemed satisfied. Regular reporting by Zoom or in person. Regular random UAs. 90 sober meetings in 90 days. Proof of employment within 30 days of release. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. And there is going to be a TAP evaluation in custody and follow TAP recommendations.
In custody, Judge?
Yes. And then since you've already completed, I'm going to order the DWI education course
Yes, Your Honor.
and victim impact panel live. All right, is there anything else that you need from the court that would help you be successful on this probation?
No.
And probation, is there anything else? Oh, thank you so much. And there'll be field visits one time per month for 6 months. All right, good luck to you. And thank you so much for dressing appropriately for court. Thank you.
Thank you, Ryan.
You're welcome. And they may need you to,
Oh, another one?
well, to go over conditions with him. I'm not sure.
No worries.
I can translate if.
Oh, I think it has to be an official translation. Although I do trust your translation skills.
Your Honor, and I apologize, I didn't catch this, in custody
For the top evaluation. They should be finished with it this week.
within this week.
But and counsel, the reason why I'm doing that is based upon what I've read in the report.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
How are you doing, Your Honor?
I'm doing fine. How are you doing?
Open, yeah.
All right. Court is calling 2023 CR 1041, State versus Sydney Lee Peterson. Can I have parties announced for the record?
Jason Garahan, Your Honor.
Gary Chirek for the defendant.
And are you Sydney Peterson?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you review the document entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the same Sydney Lee Peterson who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2023 CR 1041 for the offense of assault of a peace officer judge on April 11, 2023 for a term of 4 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, state.
Yes, Your Honor. Violated condition number 2, on or about the 9th day of December 2024 in Bear County, Texas. The defendant, Sydney Lee Peterson, the then failed to submit to drug testing as directed by the court officer, supervision officer, and or a duly authorized agent of the court in violation of condition number 2.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True.
Your Honor, we waive the remaining violated conditions.
Any objections?
No objection.
Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 2, the court could find it true, grant the motion, sentence you up to 20 years in prison
Yes, ma'am.
and up to a $10,000 fine? Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 2?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find violation of condition number 2 true. Is there a proposed agreement?
No, there is not, Your Honor.
And state, what are you requesting?
We haven't really discussed it, Your Honor, but the recommendation by probation was amend for state the cognitive-based track followed by ISP. There is another case pending that we waived. It is a family violence burglary we don't know what's gonna happen with that. But at this point, the state's position is to go with recommendation of probation.
All right, so with regards to that recommendation, you will be in limbo because they're not going to transfer you as long as you have an open case pending. Defense, what are you requesting?
Judge, that depending on what happens to the open case, I think it's just, if the open case goes away, then he missed one drug test. So I think that's a slap on the hand violation. But we don't know what's gonna happen with the burglary deal. I think it's, what I know about it, it's a conflict between exes. So we'll just have to go from there.
State, have you turned over a discovery for the new number 1 that's in the allegation? I mean, in the motion?
Have you received it?
I couldn't tell you that. I have so much discovery on the computers that
Judge, I'm unaware. Well, this morning we have reached out to the intake attorney in family violence. I talked to family violence about the case. It seems that they're in process of working up that case. As far as as in the precursory view of it, it seems like a decent case. It doesn't seem like it would go away unless the victim is somehow unsustainable.
All right, this is what the court is going to do. The court is going to find violation of condition number 2 true, and the court is going to make a ruling on this case on April 3rd. So you're going to come back on April 3rd and I'll make a decision on whether to continue you or not continue you. And if I decide to continue you, there'll be certain conditions associated with that. You understand?
got it. All right. Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Court is calling 2024 CR 007602, State versus Juan Miranda. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state? Defense?
Meredith to come for Mr. Miranda, Your Honor.
And are you Mr. Miranda?
Thank you, Judge.
And to the court reporter, I know I'm going extra fast, but it's at the request of defense counsel.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, did you understand you're charged with tampering with physical evidence with intent to impair That's a third-degree felony. It's 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. According to the plea, punishment is to be assessed at 2 years in the prison. The state is taking into consideration 2025 PF 04695, 2024 AL 006340. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
State?
Yes, sir.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
By signing that, you're waiving your right to appeal. The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, are there any such motions?
No, Your Honor, not in
Then
this.
to the offenses charged, how do you plead?
No contest.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, the court will follow your agreement, sentence you to 2 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. Take in consideration 2025 PF 04695, 2024 AL 006340, and I request the therapeutic community. Is there anything else with regards to sentencing?
No, Your Honor, thank you very much for that.
All right, we can drop the record. The therapeutic community is designed to help you maintain your sobriety. When you're released from prison, if for any reason you can't find a place to help you with that, if I'm still here, you can come back here. All right? All right, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck.
This one, sir.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And Sydney, I'm sorry. I had to go very quickly. There were medical issues. All right, court is calling 2025 CR 000146, State versus Maria Herrera. Can I have parties announced for the record? State,
Andrew Harris, Settlement.
defense,
Howdy, Joe Stenberg, representing Maria Herrera.
and are you Maria Herrera?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you're charged with burglary of a habitation? That's a second-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could sentence you up to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine? Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
According to the plea, the state recommends deferred adjudication. There's a $1,000 fine that's to be probated. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Your Honor.
Defense, is that the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea?
Yes, Judge.
Outside the agreement, the state is requesting that your community service be for a term of 5 years. There be no contact with the complainant, and there be a TAP evaluation. Did you understand those were recommendations from the state, and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, Your Honor.
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead?
No content.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. After reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing? Are you proceeding with sentencing?
We have no objection to that.
All right. Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Yes, ma'am. She understands what she did was absolutely wrong. She just thinks she's not going to do it again.
All right. Why did you go into a place that was not yours? A residence that's not your residence?
Honestly, I used to live there and I thought the same people lived there and I still had the key, but I guess the people moved out of the second apartment and the key still worked and that's how I entered that place.
Did you have permission to be there?
No, ma'am.
Do you
She
have
did it
employment?
one time.
I did it one time.
Did you have employment before you were arrested?
Yes, I work at my uncle's boot shop and I work for my cousin. I'm just answering phones and checking in the shoes and checking them out.
All right. Do you have any children?
I do. I have 2 children.
What are their ages?
I have a 7-year-old and a soon-to-be 13-year-old.
And who do they live with?
With the grandparents right now since I'm incarcerated.
Is Child Protective Services in your life?
Yes, ma'am.
Who's your CPS attorney?
That I don't know right now. I was looking for one to hire on my own.
Okay. So are your children with your grandparents because of this case?
No, they've been for a prior case that I had already been to prison for.
And are there any drugs issues with you?
There was, but I've been rehabilitated.
All right, this is what the court is gonna do. 5 years deferred adjudication, $1,000 fine probated. There's to be no contact with Eduardo Giovanni and Gonzalo Morales or Chalmers Street. Regular reporting by Zoom or in person. Regular random UAs. Proof of employment within 30 days of release. No employment as a home health care provider or with minors. No unsupervised, no contact with minors. You're not allowed to reside in any home with minors. TAP evaluation in custody. Follow all TAP recommendations. Field visits 1 time per month until further notice.
Wait, what was that last part?
Field visits
Okay.
1 time per month until further notice. Probation, is there anything else? Regular random UAs. You're welcome. All right, is there anything else you need from the court to be successful?
No, Your Honor.
I would like a clarification. You said no contact with minors.
Yes.
That include her children?
Yes.
So then I can't see my kids today.
No.
No,
For 5 years.
for 5 years.
No, it's not. Here's the thing, it's not necessarily for 5 years. You have an open CPS case. I'm sure that Child Protective Services has a no contact order for you. I'm
No,
sure that,
They have I could visit my kids 2 times a week.
well, I need to see an order stating
with,
that.
with their grandparents' supervision.
Well, your attorney will need to bring to the court an order that says that you can do that. But normally, if there are drug issues and other things that are going on, then CPS does not allow you contact with the children unless it's supervised by CPS. So I'll need an order stating that, and the CPS worker, they can zoom in. Your attorney for CPS can zoom in. The child's at Lightem can zoom in and speak to me about that.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, because in reading the police reports, there's something else going on than just that you went into a house because you used to live there and you always thought that you could come there at any time to live there. There's something else going on. And I'm trying to figure out what's going on in regards to that. And part of my job as a judge is to make sure that the community is protected.
Yes.
And a
Your Honor.
part of that community, sometimes people don't believe it, but part of that community is children. And sometimes it's your own biological children. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, good luck to you, okay?
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
God bless you.
Thank you. God bless you too.
Adios.
Well, adios. All right,
I don't know if it says Matthew Brown on your file or Christopher
it
Cameron.
has Christopher Cameron. And
Yes.
who is James Bolt? Because this was attached to this.
It has,
Oh, you're also James Bolt. All right, court is calling 2024 CR 012525, State of Texas versus Matthew Brown, AKA Christopher Floyd Cameron, AKA James Bolt. Could I have parties announced for the record?
Andrew Harrison, state.
Lindsay Shaw for, Mr. Brown.
And are you Mr. Brown?
Yes, ma'am.
You're charged with possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1 gram to 4 grams. That's a 3rd-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand? Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to your plea bargain agreement, punishment is to be assessed at 2 years in the prison. There's a $2,000 fine. There are no applications. The state will take in consideration night mag number 745333 and 224 PF 09-598. Did you understand that to be the plea? Defense, is that the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea?
Yes, Judge.
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty, ma'am.
Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Hey, Judge, he has been in the Bear County Jail for 232 days, so we're just asking that he receive.
All right. Court will follow your agreement. The court will find you guilty, sentence you to 2 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. There's a $2,000 fine, time and money to run concurrent. Take into consideration night mag number 745333, 2024 PF 09598. And the court will order the therapeutic community. It doesn't increase the time that you're in custody, but if you have a drug or alcohol issue, it will help you with that. All right, so we can go off the record. How old are you?
43 years old, ma'am.
All right, so you're getting close to what I call the twilight of your life. And I can say that because I'm in the twilight of my life, unless I'm planning on living to be over 100, which we'll see what happens. But if you don't stop what you're doing, you're going to look up and find that you spent a majority in your life in custody. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a drug or alcohol problem, once you're released, if you need help finding a place to help you maintain your sobriety, if I'm still here, you can come back and I'll help you get a place to stay, okay?
Thank you, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank
And
you.
thank you for dressing appropriately for court. This was a nice trial outfit.
Yeah.
You all righty?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Appreciate you. Have a good night.